What's going on, everybody? Appreciate y'all tuning the channel today here at 323 Fabrication. More Buick Roadmaster sedan progress, guys. I'm hoping maybe, a couple of more videos we'll at least be able to yard drive it. I know, progress is slow, but it has been cold here, and when it hasn't been cold, it's been raining. And the cold isn't really the issue, it's the rain, because this car is obviously outside, because that's the only place we got room for it. I'm sure some of y'all have seen in the background, we are working on that 57 Chevy pickup, but gonna have to wait on that one. Trying to kind of juggle a couple of projects at a time, but trying to keep, as much to one project video-wise as we can. And then, we'll switch back and forth when we have to, but the idea is to keep it flowing kind of in order, hopefully. Anyway, that being said, hope y'all are excited. We're gonna make some more progress, get the wheels on this thing. These are the wheels for the Buick, so y'all can see how pitted they are. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but you can see a little bit of brush strokes in these. We actually just brushed them. We do that with our chassis and stuff. If you put enough paint on it with a decent brush, it lays down pretty slick, and it serves its purpose. The idea is to keep it from getting worse. This is not a show car. Obviously, it is rusty and crusty, and there's no point in mixing paint and spraying these legitimately, because at the end of the day, I'm not fixing to fill all of this. You can see how bad it's pitted. So we brushed it to seal it with these after I wire wheeled them, and we're gonna brush it, but we talked about it, and we're gonna do them white because the car's roof used to be white, and we might spray that. I don't know if we will or not, but I looked at some pictures online, and I'm with Dad. White is definitely the choice, but it needs to be a little off-white. So I save all my old pickle jars to make good usage around the shop. There's our gloss white enamel, and then Dad opened up this safety yellow that's also a gloss. We're gonna add a little yellow and try to tint the white to be an off-white, and then we'll brush it on the wheels. I'll let you do the honors there, sir, if you would like. We're just kind of experimenting. We don't really know how much paint we need, but we poured. Dad opened the brown, and it was a fairly new can. We judged about how much we used to paint both sides of the wheels. We're only painting the front of them because that's all you can see, but I made a little extra because I figured if we had to touch them up later, we'd need it. Tune back in a second. All right, y'all, we added yellow 3 more times after what y'all initially saw. And what I did, I just took another paint paddle and put it in there and dripped it in this one, then we stirred it. Now ignore the outside of the jar. What matters is what's on the paint paddle. So that's the color. I don't know if y'all can really tell in the camera. I tell you what, I'm gonna go get a piece of paper that's actually white, and then you'll really be able to tell. All right, y'all, white envelope. Now you can really, oh, there it went, hang on. Now you can really see the difference in it. It's creamy. Hey, Dad, come check this out, man. This is cool. That's what we should have been doing. When it's by itself, it's hard to tell how creamy it is, but when you compare it to this paper, it's a lot different. Man, is that cool. It definitely needs a second coat, and we're still got to figure out how we're going to mount the killer center caps. Paint's still wet, so he'll probably get a second coat tomorrow. I'm finna start taking these brakes apart, but I got to think about it. I'm going to take this thing out there and set it up on the car. Man, that is so cool. White was definitely the choice. Honestly, man. Vanilla. It's vanilla.
Vanilla.
And Dad's right, it's real close to like a Bluebell, just plain vanilla ice cream color. Man, that is so cool. I love the white. That was definitely the choice. Even if it didn't have like a poverty cap on it, white's still definitely the way to go. But when them little Buick poverty caps are on them things, man, it's gonna be cool. I love it. There's 2 of our wheels. There's another wheel. These are killer. Got them on eBay. 2 of them are already polished. The other 2 need to be. It's like 60 bucks, I think, but it was cheaper than Baby Moon's, and they say Buick. So I thought they were pretty cool. They're not perfect, but neither is the car. Here's the wheel on the car. Back up and show you all that. Dad's gonna come out here in just a second and hold this for me so y'all can see the hubcap on there. But that's the kind of look we're going for. And then probably, that's like a vanilla color. Probably gonna paint the roof that color as well and around the back window. Maybe one day, but show y'all this, and then I'm fitting to put these brakes back on this side, get a little bit done. The weather's not cooperating. It's been flooding here, but it's not raining right now, so we're gonna try to make a little progress. Thank you for holding that for me. Just trying to let everybody see the car with the hubcap. There you go. I think that's an excellent look. It's definitely the way to go. Much better than them ugly factory hubcaps, which I will show y'all just for comparison. Thank you, sir. But I think that was the right move. What do you think, sir?
I think it's the right move. It looks good.
I agree. All right, just as a comparison, see, that's a full-size hubcap that covers the whole wheel. That's the reason these wheels don't have the clips for these like some of them did. I don't care for those. I do care for these. That's it. Okay, back to brakes. This is our front old one, rubber line. Now we're working on the passenger side. New one, rubber line, rear, rear. Get these on there. I've got to take these pieces off and wire wheel them. They're really crusty. And then we will reassemble the brakes, and then I'll get the bearings out and pack them. And then for that, just this one side, and get this back together. Make a little more progress, and then we'll get the other side done. Be time for some tars. All right, that's the way they come off. That's the first one I cleaned. Should be a lot better. It is a little pitted, but that doesn't matter. And then I'm gonna clean the shoes because it's kind of crusty where they were sitting. The new wheel cylinders are on the car, so we'll get this side put back together today. Okay, went ahead and restored all the brake parts. Look at there. Brand new. Good enough. Got to do the front still. I did the little things, so I got to do the rest of it. But Dad made a good point. We need to make sure these are lubed pretty good. So I'll probably take these apart and clean them. And that way we can put just a tiny bit of axle grease on them threads. That way they'll behave. And then put it back together. Check that out. See if I can block the sun. Man, that looks good. So I ordered a set of clips. They were more or less universal, and they come with clips and rivets. They're like $10 a corner. But I only ordered one set so I can make sure they'd work. And this isn't perfect. This is a lot easier. The hubcap's a lot easier to remove than I would like it to be. But I just had to come out here and see that thing on the car. Man, is that cool or what? That is the look right there. All right, I think the hubcap's mounted good this time. I changed the way I had the clips on it. And then I went ahead and bucked the rivets. I don't have what I actually need to buck the rivets properly, but this was already beat up on the end, so I made it a little bit wider and flattened it out. And I mean, it's good enough for what it's for. I might see if I can borrow an actual rivet head thing for this air hammer. That way the back of them will be round instead of flat. And then I use this from a bucking bar, just a stock hard piece of stock. It's kind of got some weight to it. But I can't get it off by hand now, where before I could just put my fingers around it and pop the hubcap off. Now I can't do that. So I'm gonna try and protect the wheel. We have some paint left over. We saved it to touch these wheels up for this purpose, and because when we get tires mounted, they'll probably get skinned up a little bit too. But I'm gonna see if I can get this thing back off, and if I can, I'm gonna show y'all what I did. And then when I get the rest of the clips in, I'll actually show y'all what I did start to finish on one of the other wheels. I was kind of experimenting. This was a lot of trial and error. So let me pop this off real quick. We'll see. All right, that worked really well. I just folded that up, put it on the lip, set the pry bar in there, and just smacked it, and it popped right off. Guys, so here's what we got. I centered my holes about 1/4 inch off the gap, and then I kind of bent these a little bit tighter so that that little lip in there where that end stops doesn't get hung up on the lip inside of the hubcap, which is the problem I was having before. I couldn't get it back off. But then I just bucked the rivets, guys. They're not the prettiest things ever, but they should work fine, and the hubcap won't come off when we hit a pothole now. And then we'll touch these wheels up later, but that's what I got. And I'll show y'all. I ordered them off Amazon, but I'll show y'all a part number. Give me just a second. I ordered these off Amazon, so they were drop shipped, but I guess that's where they actually came from, Dune Buggy Warehouse. But it's one bag, they're $9.09. But there's your part number. I think they were supposed to be for Volkswagens, but either way, there you go. It took them a couple weeks to get here. Well, not almost 2 weeks, but either way, so I'm gonna order 3 more sets, and when they come in, we'll do the rest of the wheels. Weather's been decent today, been in the 50s, so it's been dry. Been out here trying to get some stuff done on this old Buick. So y'all, we got new wheel cylinders all the way around, and then pulled the brakes off, cleaned the plungers up, got the rust off of them, knocked the rust off some of this other stuff, reassembled it after cleaning all the grease and nastiness off the backing plates. So the rear drums are ready to go back on. I scuffed the loose rust up in them and then sprayed them out with carb cleaner, getting the oils off of them. So they'll go back on with the alignment pin, 2 bolts on each side, but went ahead and did all of it. Front's back together. And then same thing on this side, just got done. Last corner, new wheel cylinders, new rubber brake line. Still got to change the rear brake line to the center and put master cylinder on it and figure out what kind of funky thing they did with the brake lines with that aftermarket booster. But then we'll have to clean the front bearings. They've been soaking in gas, but clean them with carb cleaner and then repack them and clean the hubs part of the drum on the front. So clean that out and repack all that with new fresh grease. Same thing back here, guys. New wheel cylinder, cleaned everything back together. So I'm gonna slap these rear drums on and then go start working on the front ones and get the bearings ready. So these, you got 2 bolts and alignment pin, and the holes are not, you know, they're kind of offset. You got a smaller triangle here, or smaller distance here. So I put the pins in the far one and these 2, but you can see the drum's not all the way on. So I got it close and then got all these started before I knocked the drum all the way on. That way it's lined up. All right, y'all, cleaned all these, sprayed them out. They're in pretty decent shape. They're American made, probably original bearings, but they really are pretty good shape. There's no crazy wear or nothing. They're really pretty clean. Should be sufficient. But I got those cleaned up, and then there's a bunch of greasy rags in there. Scooped a whole bunch of grease out of these, brought them out here, sprayed them out with carb cleaner. I'll spray the braking surface again before I install them. But we're gonna get the bearings packed and then reinstall, get the new rear wheel seals right there installed. Should be ready to rock and roll and get them back on the car. It's gonna be sweet. Kind of what I'm thinking. Well, it's getting dark. I gotta go to work, but just finished it up. They're all packed with old red high temp STP bearing grease. You know, plenty of extra inside of it and everything else. Got it cotter pin. This one's lefty tighty, the other one's righty tighty, and then got a cotter pin in the castle nuts. Rolls semi-free, so they should be good to go. But it's getting dark. I gotta go to work. So I appreciate y'all watching the video. I hope you're enjoying it. I'm hoping before too much longer we'll be able to tool this cool old car around, at least around the yard. I gotta get some tires, but got the hubcap situation figured out with the wheels, which is great. It's now got brakes back on it. Just got to get master cylinder on it, and then 1 brake line, I believe, rubber line in the back, and maybe 1 line to feed the master cylinder. But that being said, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one. Be blessed.